I'm Ricky, and as a successful YouTuber with 4 channels and over 3 million subscribers, you might think that my life is pretty good. But you'd be wrong. Earlier this year, I'd felt like I'd lost complete control of my physical and mental health. I was doing nothing to look after myself, working crazy hours and getting no sleep, meaning I was overweight and my happiness was at an all-time low. So 100 days ago, I set myself a goal of losing weight and improving my happiness. I had no idea how much this would actually change me. I gave myself 6 daily tasks that I had to complete for the 100 days, with the first being getting up at 5 AM every day.
I'm up. I'm not awake, but I am up. This is going to take some getting used to.
Now, I did this to try and improve my sleep consistency because before, I was going to bed and getting up at literally the weirdest times. This was mainly because I have zero accountability. I live on my own and I'm my own boss. The idea behind 5 AM is it would force me to go to bed earlier, meaning I get more sleep and it's also more consistent. There's lots of reported benefits of this, and also you see lots of successful people who swear by getting up early. Getting up at 5 AM also helped me with my second daily task, which was to do at least 1 hour of exercise every day. Because exercise is not only good for physical health, but it also helps improve mental health as it releases endorphins, which can help lift your mood and relieve stress. But going from 0 exercise to 1 hour a day was going to be tough. So I got myself one of these.
So every morning we're going to do at least 30 minutes on the Peloton. Getting these little bad boys on just took me about 20 minutes.
Zone rock ride, that's right. Power zone and rock.
And I went running for the first time in 20 years.
Harder than I thought. Well, we've done 20 minutes.
I hired a PT for 3 1-hour sessions per week. Then I'd fill the rest of the time with walks or hitting the gym.
Gym workout is complete. I feel good. The only problem is my shoulder's giving me grief. I can tell I've done a workout because literally I'm shaking as I'm trying to record this.
But all the exercise in the world wasn't going to shift this unless I started eating better. So task 3 was sticking to a nutrition plan, which meant cutting out my 2 biggest weaknesses, takeaways and sweets. First, I had to calculate how many calories I needed to consume each day to hit my 100-day weight target of 80 kilograms. So I put my weight, height, and exercise goals into a calorie counting app, which told me I should aim for 1,900 calories per day, which is nearly 2,000 less than what I was consuming. So to help me achieve this, I started using a meal prep service and meal replacement drinks because they're healthy, convenient, and I don't have much time. I used an app to track everything and remove temptation by deleting the delivery apps. And I also started taking lots of different vitamins because I'm old and I need them. Task 4 was to reduce my working hours to 10 per day, as work had consumed every area of my life, which is something that happens to a lot of YouTubers. I was thinking about it 24/7. I was taking my laptop to bed and even checking work in the middle of the night when I woke up. So to help me get a better work-life balance, I restricted my work hours to 8 till 6, which was gonna be hard. Task 5 was to increase my water intake to 3 liters per day, as it has so many benefits like more energy, mental clarity, clearer skin, and so many more. But that meant I had to stop living off of coffee and soft drinks. So to help, I got out my 1 liter Air Up bottle, which flavors normal water through scent alone, meaning you get amazing flavor without any extra calories.
Oh, cola flavor.
And finally, for task 6, read a book for 30 minutes every day, as this will help with self-development, mental stimulation, focus, and concentration. However, this one was going to be difficult as I have never finished a book before.
It's not going to be easy, and I have to embrace that. But anything that's worth it is hard, because if it wasn't hard, everyone would do it and it wouldn't be worth it anymore.
So the first few weeks, I just focused on getting things done, because going from nothing to everything is really difficult. One of the big successes was the Peloton, as it really helped me with my exercise targets.
Morning Peloton done, and I didn't even break a sweat. And my bottom is in bits.
My runs were gradually getting longer.
A 30-minute run. Oh my God.
And I felt like I was even getting stronger in the gym. But don't get me wrong, there were plenty of challenges. And one of the tasks proved to be quite tricky.
That is so bright. Morning. I'm not gonna lie, 5 AM stuff is difficult.
I needed consistency, so I stuck to it. And I didn't moan once.
So tired. I'm fatigued. like I'm shattered. Really, really tired. Can you tell how tired I am?
It was also tough finding a balance. I was trying to do the same amount of work in less time and fit in all of these new daily tasks, which was pretty difficult.
It is Sunday night. My little boy has just gone back to his mum's after being here for the weekend. We had a lovely weekend. Normally, I would eat his leftovers and things like that. We'd have some naughty food, a little bit of a treat, you know. But yeah, I've been pretty good. Stuck to the diet. We went for a walk yesterday, which was the hour exercise. The problem is, now I still owe an hour exercise and 30 minutes reading. And the last thing I want to do right now is exercise, but I have to. I need to do it. Done it.
But one thing that wasn't tough was getting my 3 litres of water a day. When I get a craving to have sugar, I drink water and the flavour satisfies that craving. So it makes me drink more water when I want something sweet. But there is one minor side effect.
I've done 2 litres of water and I've already been for about 8 wees today. 8!
If you would like to give Air Up a try, I'm going to put the link at the top of the description. And at checkout, make sure you put in code CHUFF100 to get yourself a discount. Sticking to my nutrition plan was hard.
I am hungry and I'm craving juicy burger.
My habits before were terrible. I was ordering Deliveroo 5 or 6 days a week. Some days I was ordering it twice for lunch and dinner. So no wonder I was consuming so many calories. And also the cost was mind-blowing. Yeah, I spent £12,000 in a year on Deliveroo and coffee. But on reflection, the reason I was ordering so much food in is because I was working so much, I didn't have the time to make anything. Work just took over. So when I actually managed to stick to the nutrition plan, it felt pretty good.
I'll tell you what. Spinach on its own ain't that bad.
Although sometimes it was a little bit challenging.
Oh no.
And at times I had to think outside of the box.
Just open the fridge. I got nothing to eat. All right, look, it's not the prettiest, okay? But it does the job.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Things have been bad for years. I did try to do this kind of thing before, but every time I failed within a week. So the fact that I got this far sticking to all of my daily tasks was quite an achievement. All the hard work was starting to pay off because I was losing weight, I could see a physical difference, and I felt much better.
Let's go! I'm gonna be buff! Oh, we did good. We beat our personal best of output for a 20-minute workout. It's 9:30 and I'm actually going to bed. Yes! That is the first book I've finished, maybe ever. I'm kind of proud of myself. Now we've just got to figure out what book to read next. You're probably wondering where I've been. I've realised I've been really stupid. So the reason I've never been successful in changing my life physically and mentally is because I always put too much pressure on myself, tried doing everything, tried doing it perfect. So what do? I decide to add more pressure on myself by making a video of it. Every day I stress about this video, trying to make the perfect video, because I'm a perfectionist. I feel like I have to have my camera with me all the time, and it feels like I'm trying to film my life. It is horrible. And what happens when you get overwhelmed? Things start to slip. So over the last couple of weeks, things have slipped badly. For the last 2 weeks, I've been back to square one.
I wasn't in a good place. I'd gained some weight, I felt ashamed, embarrassed, I'd let everyone down. My happiness was lower than when I first started. So with 42 days to go, I had a big decision to make. Go back to the 6 daily tasks that I'd probably quit again after 2 weeks, just like I always have, or find another way. A way that worked for me. A way that would change my life for good, not just 100 days. And most importantly, a way that would make me happier, because I was fed up of quitting.
One day at a time, all right? We can do this.
The first change I made was remove the need for recording. It's so stressful. I couldn't work out without thinking about what shots to take or eat or even go to bed. You got to tidy up the house before, you got to set the cameras up, get the light. It's stressing me out even talking about it. The hard 1800 day calorie limit and tracking everything on my phone, gone. Yeah, I was losing a lot of weight and the app is helpful, but it was miserable and completely unsustainable for the long term. I was literally weighing spinach leaves. So instead, I went for a more flexible approach, which focused on awareness and better food decisions. I set myself a rough target of 2,200 calories a day, which I tracked in my head. It's more sustainable while still keeping me in a calorie deficit, so I'd continue losing weight. I kept things simple: a meal replacement drink for breakfast, meal prep for lunch, which meant I could be more flexible with dinner without stressing about it. And if I did go over my target one day, I didn't beat myself up about it. I'd just rein things in the following day to balance things out. But the biggest change of all is I started paying attention to what was in the food I was eating and making smarter choices. Like with Nando's, I used to order this 1,900 calories. But by simply ditching the dessert, skipping the halloumi, swapping fries for broccoli, and avoiding the sauces, I saved myself 1,200 calories, which is absolutely mind-blowing.
Still tastes great.
You may have noticed that in the first part of the 100 days, I didn't really talk about whether I stuck to my new working hours or if I improved my work-life balance. Well, that's because it actually got worse. I still had the same amount of work to do, and on top of it, I had this video to film. To make a sustainable change, I needed to look at the root of the problem. I had too much work on my plate. So I started working with a life coach and business mentor who helped me with my productivity so I could get more work done in the time I had available. But he also helped me understand how I was spending my time in the day and how I could restructure my business to free up those unnecessary tasks that I don't need to do. Now, Thomas was amazing, and he helped me get my daily work hours down to about 11, which is a big improvement from where I was, and I really believe that getting down to a 9 till 6 day at some point is actually achievable, giving me more time to do the things I love, like watching football, going to dinner with my friends, enjoying time with my family, and playing golf.
I said nothing but green, and there we go.
I got rid of the 1 hour of exercise every single day because it was just too ambitious, and trying to fit that in with everything else I was trying to do made it really tough and just further increased the pressure. And to be honest, you don't need to do 1 hour of exercise every day to be healthier. So for the rest of the 100 days, I focused on what's achievable and enjoyable. Because if you don't enjoy the process, you won't stick to the process. I went for at least a 10-minute walk every day to get some fresh air. I pre-planned 3 one-hour exercise sessions, whether that be Peloton, PT, or just going for a run. I even got a treadmill for the office so I could get some steps in whilst working.
I'm literally working as I'm getting steps. Although keeping balance is tougher than I thought. But it's great for meetings.
Making myself get up at 5 a.m. every day was a massive mistake. Because for that to work, I needed to be in bed by 9:30 p.m. to ensure I got 7.5 hours sleep, which just wasn't happening with everything I had going on. I was going to bed more like 11 o'clock, but then I could never sleep as I was stressing about the fact I had to get up at 5 a.m. It actually meant I was getting less sleep than when I started the process. To be honest, I think I got a little bit caught up in the whole social media side of things. Look at me, I'm successful and I get up at 5 a.m. I guess I thought it would make me happier. It might work for some, but it doesn't work for others, and that's absolutely fine. So I changed my whole perspective on sleep. I went from getting up at 5 a.m. every day to focusing on the amount of sleep I was getting. So no matter what time I went to bed, I would always set my alarm for 7.5 hours time to make sure I got enough sleep. And do you know what was really interesting? Not only did my amount of sleep pretty much hit 7.5 hours every night, but my sleep consistency improved without me even thinking about it. There was no more lying in bed worrying about, I've got to be up at 5, I've got to be up at 5.
I've just got back and into bed after a meal out with friends. I had steak and I didn't feel guilty. And you know what's even better? Well, I know it's not better than steak, but yeah, it is nearly 11:30 and I'm going to set my alarm for 7 a.m. So I'll get my 7.5 hours sleep and I'm not stressed. I reckon I'm going to sleep like an absolute baby. I've got no stress at all. It's great. This is like how it should be.
I found out that 30 minutes of reading a day just isn't for me. I find reading books really uncomfortable on my neck, and trying to find 30 minutes just to sit down and focus on reading, I just forget about it. So I actually dropped reading altogether. I went to audiobooks. Doesn't give me neck ache, and they can also fit around my daily life. So when I went for my daily walk, I listened to an audiobook. When I was doing things around the house, I'd listen to an audiobook. When I was in the car, I listened to an audiobook. And it worked because there was no pressure. But do you know what was really interesting? I actually started to spend more time with books than I did before, and I was actually enjoying it. It made doing those boring daily tasks more interesting. Now, my water intake has actually stayed pretty consistent, and it helped when AirUp sent me a care package with their brand new, more compact click bottle. Oh, so it's got one of the caps that actually stay on, which would be great. You just push the button to open it. It's completely leak-proof, which is great when I take it to the gym, and I can chuck it in the dishwasher.
Ready to go.
So that pretty much sums up the last 42 days. And before I knew it, it was day 100. I've learned a lot on this journey. It's not about forcing yourself into a process that will make you miserable because it will never last. It's about finding a way to genuinely change your life in a way that you enjoy and that you can actually stick to in the long term. But has my way helped me reach my goals?
The moment of truth. Dun, dun, dun. My final weight at the end of 100 days. 85.3 kilos.
So in the last 6 weeks, I lost 3 kilograms. And even though I didn't hit my 80 kilogram target, I'm okay with that, as this is just the beginning. And I am the happiest I've been in a long time. So for me, this has been a massive success. And finally, a huge thanks to AirUp for sponsoring my journey. And don't forget to get your bottle using code Chuff100 for a discount. Just click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen.